Hey everybody, welcome to another Swoosh video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new 25th Anniversary Batman by NECA. Batman, of course, based on the Michael Keaton version from the movie, from the first Batman movie, in all that glorious black and yellow. Now, a version of this figure came out not too long ago in the Nintendo 8-bit colors based on the old Batman video game. But here is the same figure finally released in all black with a little bit of yellow, and it really does look like Michael Keaton. It, of course, comes in a bundle with the Blu-ray. They come together. I've already opened this and watched it and removed the sticker here. But what this packaging reads here is 21st Anniversary Edition Batman Bundle. Batman Blu-ray with action figure. Must purchase Blu-ray and action figure on the same receipt. So that's how it's being sold. And I guess that's the loophole that is allowing this to be sold in stores, because evidently there's some kind of rights issues with Mattel that NECA had to tiptoe around, and offering it with the Blu-ray was the only way to make that happen. Now the packaging here is a throwback to the old Toy Biz Batman figure that was released around the same time as the movie. The movie didn't actually have an action figure line associated with it. I mean, there were Batman toys on the shelves, and I think in this line there was a Batman, a Joker, and if I'm remembering correctly, there was a Goon. I had all three of those way back when. In fact, I had a carded version of that Toy Biz Batman up until just a couple years ago when I traded it away. Had no idea this guy was coming out, so it would have been handy to have just for the sake of a comparison right here. But anyway, well, here is Batman in his packaging. It's very simple packaging, very simple, no frills. Just a very basic blister card. And on the back, it shows off the figure, and this, as I recall, this little newspaper thing here was the same from that old Toy Biz Batman figure. Batman defends Gotham's streets against crime. And that old Toy Biz Batman, it wasn't a Michael Keaton Batman. It was just kind of a very basic Batman design that was all in black that kind of looked like the character from the movie. But we never actually got any movie figures. So 25 years later, NECA is finally giving us a real good, legit 6-inch Michael Keaton Batman. We were told it couldn't be done, but here it is. It's in hand right now. So I'm going to get this guy open here in just a second, and we're going to take a look at him. So why don't you sit tight? And as always, thank you for checking us out here on the Foosh. We'll be right back. Here is the Michael Keaton Batman outside of his packaging, and this is pretty exciting. I'm very much used to, at this point, the DC Universe Classics versions of Batman figures, so getting something that's decidedly different from the DCUC kind of template is really kind of fresh and exciting to me, I've got to be honest here. The soft goods cape is something I am a big fan of. I'm very happy they went that route with it. It's a substantially large cape, and I love that it can drape over his shoulders, kind of like it did in the movie. Oops, now he doesn't want to stand. He was standing just fine. Okay, that's really cool to me. But before we go any further here, the big selling point, well, one of the big selling points here is the likeness, and it's how close it is to Michael Keaton. So how about we get a close-up on his face so you can see just how good that likeness is. I mean, that is really, really awesome. The sculpt is about as good as you could ask for a Michael Keaton Batman at the 6-inch scale. And look at those eyes, the way they peer perfectly through the mask. That is a dynamite head sculpt. Like, I don't think you could ask for any better than that. This figure stepped right off of the movie screen, as far as I'm concerned. It's just awesome, all the way around. And I just think they did an excellent job at capturing Michael Keaton's likeness in the Bat costume. And I like that there's a texture to the mask, the bit that drapes over his shoulders too. It looks like that kind of fake leather armor, or maybe it was real leather armor that he wore on the movie. The Bat symbol, I guess this is the point of contention when it comes to this figure. I guess it's tough to get one that has a nicely painted bat sigil. This one is okay. It's not perfect, but it's serviceable. I can live with it. I won't be going out of my way to replace it. So, and there's the bat body armor. And something interesting here is that it is like a soft rubber. Like I can press on it, and it is like, you can kind of see it there. It's a soft rubber armor, kind of like it was in the movie. And then there's the belt. It looks just like the belt that he wore in the movie. I mean, it's kind of a goldish yellow. I'm wondering if it would look better if it were just straight up painted gold. I remember it in the movie being somewhat gold. And then as we continue to pan down, the legs look pretty cool. He's got the shin armor and whatnot. But all in all, this is just, whoops, wrong way. This is an exceptional Michael Keaton Batman. I really don't think you could ask for any better. And then from all sides here, we get to see how the cape just drapes around. Look at that from the back. That looks awesome. It really, really does. This is one of those cases where the soft goods is really, really coming through. It's really working. Now, in terms of general articulation, I always get nervous handling NECA figures because, well, sometimes, they break. But then again, Mattel figures broke on me like frickin' crazy, so I'm no stranger to Batman figures crumbling in my hands. NECA, I mean, it feels like a more sturdy figure. There's some heft here. It's heavy. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, we got to look at the cape from the back. And when you lift the cape up, we see more sculpted body armor. And the belt, of course, goes all the way around. But looks pretty good. Anyway, back to the articulation. His head does swivel, and you see the entire breastplate kind of turns with it. So it's not the most elegant thing in the world, but then again, in the movie, he couldn't turn his head. So, I mean, that was a non-issue. If you're going for movie accuracy, you're not going to be turning his head too much, so not a big deal there. Let me just get the cape out of the way. Okay. He's got a decent range of motion in the shoulders. He can raise his hands straight up, and there is a hinge there, so it can be moved out to the side. I mean, if you have the 8-bit, like Nintendo figure, the purple one, it's all the same. But if you're new to it, this is what you're getting here. And he's got a hinge and swivel elbow. It can get a nice 90 degrees, and it can go all the way around. Okay. And his wrist also has a swivel. And that's the case for both arms, same thing. He doesn't have an ab crunch, but there is a joint here at the waist that has a decent range of motion too. Like he can do pelvic thrusts, I guess. So not too bad. And it's got something of a swivel, not much. And his legs, I'm not sure what kind of joint it is. I think they're ball joints or some kind of hinge and swivel, but he can get in that kick pose. I mean, he did some side kicks in the movie. And then there is a bit of a twist, not a huge amount. And the legs can go up, not a ton because they get held up by the soft rubber kind of bat shorts that he's wearing. And then the knees are a hinge and swivel too, very similar to the elbows. Not a full 90 degrees, but not terrible. And then there is a swivel there, but it's making me nervous. It's got that gummy kind of feeling that I don't like messing with. And then the ankles, there's a swivel and kind of a rocker. They can go up and down. Oops, side to side too. So that is a true ankle rocker for all you ankle rocker fans out there. Okay. So that's his articulation breakdown, basically. And good news is he's an easy one to keep standing. That always makes me happy. And he does come with some accessories. Okay. He's got the grappling hook gun that he used fairly often in the movie, and that can be placed right in that hand. In fact, why don't we get a close-up on that if we can. It looks pretty cool. See if I can get it in focus. There we go. Not too bad. It's got the gold kind of hook there, and then there are some paint details. There is some silver paint, apps on the side of it. But that's awesome. It doesn't, do anything, of course. It's, just the gun. But not too bad at all. You could pretend like he's shooting it at the ceiling to save Vicky Vale from Mr. Jack Nicholson Joker. And he has a swappable fist for that hand too, but it's just a fist. It's not the most interesting thing in the world. He's got his left fist here. Then the left fist can be popped off, and they do just pop off. It is just a ball joint. I haven't tried this swap yet, so let's see how bad it is. Let me see if I can get this alternate hand on him. And okay, looks like that'll do. That's serviceable. And that hand is sculpted in such a way so as to allow him to hold his batarang here. And we'll get a close-up on that in just a second if I can get it to stay in his hand. There we go. Now if I can just get him to stay standing. Okay, so let's get a close-up on that. Whoop, too much. See if I can get this thing in focus. There we go. And that is a pretty cool looking little batarang. It's definitely sculpted. It's got some silver tips and looks like something's, again, looks like something straight from the movie. So that again is very, very satisfying to see. But this doesn't stay in there all that securely. At least I haven't, whoa. And I guess I didn't have it on there very well. So I'm just going to go ahead and put his fist back. There we go. Zoom back out here. So anyway, that hand, I haven't found a way for him to hold the batarang securely or anything. It just kind of wants to flop out. Maybe there is a way to do it. But that's all that he comes with. Yeah, come on, stand, Jack. Or Michael. Now, in terms of a comparison, here is an older DC Universe Classics Batman figure. I believe this came from a 5-pack box set. It's the black cape with the yellow oval. And they're roughly the same size. I mean, Keaton might be just a little bit larger, but the proportions are definitely different. I mean, his shoulders are so slight, but they're also hidden by the cape. And you look at these giant shoulders and the barrel chest this guy has. Two very different versions of the same character here for sure. But, man, this is... God, I know Mattel has put out movie masters in the past, but this is definitely something. This is a movie figure masterpiece, I think. Like, I can't imagine a better Michael Keaton Batman ever being released. This thing is just tops. Very happy to get it. And of course, a lot of people seem to be trying to get him. He is a limited edition release. He was available on eBay a couple weeks ago, offered by the Warner Brothers store themselves. Again, it was the same Blu-ray bundle. And then he was released this week at Toys R Us stores as part of the Blu-ray bundle. But evidently each store is only getting a small allotment, and they are going like crazy. And because it is a NECA figure, the stocking procedure at the stores is kind of weird. And people are finding them in just weird random places in the stores, so it makes the stressful process of hunting down an exclusive even more stressful. Just because there is a lot of competition for this guy. But I think he's worth it. I think if you're a fan of the 1989 Batman movie, this is absolutely a must-have figure. Like, absolutely a must-have. Okay, so that is the... In fact, let's get a close-up on that face just one more time, just because it is so good. There it is. That is Michael Keaton. through and through to a T. So let us know what you think about this figure. Do you think it's worth the hype? Is it worthy of the hype? Is it worthy of the stress people are putting themselves through in order to hunt this guy down and get him? What do you think? Let us know. Leave a comment below. Leave a comment on our message boards. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all the usual social media sites. We're on there. So, yeah, let us know what you think. And if you have one, seriously, let us know what your thoughts are. So, once again, this has been another Foosh video review. Thank you, as always, for checking us out and tuning in. And we will see you again very soon. I'm Batman.